Today's lesson is starting with a good lead and ending in a way that hooks your classmates using a book talk. So, imagine that a Venus flytrap plant could be a big-time detective. An Inspector Flytrap. If you read this book by Thomas Engelberger, you will see how this can really happen, at least in this story. We know by looking at the picture that it is the flytrap is wearing a tie. The Venus flytrap is wearing a tie in the pot. So we know it's a fantasy book. He even has an assistant named Nina the goat who eats everything. If you enjoy hilarious stories with a little bit of mystery, this is a book for you. Well, in the book talk, I started with, can you imagine a Venus flytrap plant could be a big-time detective? So that's my lead. I asked what question. Okay? And then my closing is, if you enjoy hilarious stories with a little bit of mystery, this book is for you. The kind of book it is kind of like, it has big pictures and big words, if you can see the big pictures. And it's basically gray and green is the only color really used. Gray, black, and white, and green. Okay? So, the first sentence in your book talk is called the lead. It's to get the person excited about the book, jumping in real quick with them about what they're reading or might want to read. And then the last sentence is called the closing. When you close with something to hook them in to make them want to read. There are many ways to give a lead. So looking at the chart, you can ask a question. You can say some interesting fact. You can tell an exciting part, or you can surprise the audience. Ways to close the book talk, is tell others why they should read it. So I think you should read this book because blah, 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 blah. Give a few hints about the book. Again, don't tell everything about the book. Use a cliffhanger. Give them an exciting part that draws them in, and then they have to read it to find out what happens. Or read a short quote, a funny quote, a good part of the book that you like. Mark it as you're reading it to put in your book talk if you're going to use that book as a book talk, and then read straight from the book the short quote that would get the classmates excited or feeling like they want to read this book. The lead helps gain the interest of the classmates listening to the book talk. It makes them interested in the book. A good book talk has a good lead to spark the interest of the listeners. It also has a good hook or closing to get the audience to want to read this book. The purpose of a book talk is to try to get other kids in the class to read the same book that you liked. Now, we're not all going to like the same books, but maybe we could try one of the books we hear in one of our classmates' book talks. This year, you'll be doing book talks throughout the year. So you need to be working on your leads, how to get them interested in the book, and how to hook them with the closing.